The grizzly bear, one of the most powerful wild animals, is famous for its quick and dangerous attack ability. With superior strength and incredible speed, they can launch astonishing attacks, leaving their prey with no time to react. Encounters with grizzly bears are life and death struggles full of drama and fear. Don't miss the vivid and thrilling images of these bear attacks in our video. Click to watch now and discover these unbelievable moments. Salmon, with their resilience and enduring strength, are among the most remarkable fish in the wild. Every season they travel thousands of kilometers to return to their spawning grounds, but their journey is never easy. The encounters between salmon and grizzly bears during hunting are intense and dramatic battles. Salmon, with their strong survival instincts, are not easily caught. They swim fast and do whatever they can to escape the predator's attack. These life-or-death moments between salmon and grizzly bears will keep you on the edge of your seat. These fierce battles are not just struggles between species, but also trials of nature. By a stream, the grizzly bear stands at the headwaters, waiting for the salmon to swim past. It watches intently, even missing a few opportunities. In just a moment, the grizzly bear catches its first prey, happily placing it on a rock to enjoy. The grizzly bear quickly finishes eating and catches another one within seconds without expending much effort. Under the rushing stream filled with white foam, a grizzly bear carefully watches below, waiting for its prey. The grizzly bear lowers its head into the water and, in the blink of an eye, it catches a salmon. It drags its catch to the shore along with its two cubs to enjoy the meal. Underwater, a grizzly bear is focused on catching its prey. A salmon is quickly grabbed by the grizzly bear, which sits just beneath the water, enjoying the fresh catch with great satisfaction. In the heart of the wilderness, the battles of the grizzly bear unfold like clashes beyond imagination. Two massive bodies collide, their roars shaking the air as each powerful swipe of the claws sends dirt and rock flying. Every bite, every strike carries a primal force, both terrifying and captivating. Witnesses are drawn into the whirlwind of drama, holding their breath in fear yet unable to look away from this contest of strength and instinct. It is this raw ferocity, wildness, and untamed majesty that make grizzly battles unforgettable moments in the natural world. The elk, with its massive size and thick fur, is one of the most powerful and majestic wild creatures. They not only stand out with their pristine beauty, but also with extraordinary strength in life and death confrontations. However, when facing the grizzly bear, this elk must confront unprecedented challenges. The grizzly bear, with its agility and terrifying strength, launches a surprise attack, forcing the elk to fight for its life. These confrontations are intense, with each punch and charge full of determination. Meanwhile, the elk must use all its skills and strength to overcome the fierce predator. This battle is a relentless struggle between two powerful forces of nature. At the river in Yellowstone, the grizzly bear chases the elk, causing it to panic. When the elk is cornered by the riverbank, it has no way to escape and is forced to wade into the water to find a way out. However, the grizzly bear does not relent, immediately diving into the water to pursue it. It quickly catches up with the prey, biting into the elk's back, causing it to cry out in pain. The grizzly bear continues to apply pressure, slowly overpowering the elk as it sinks into the water. Once the prey is lifeless, the grizzly bear drags it onto the shore and begins to feast. By the riverbank, a grizzly bear is greedily devouring the prey on the land, undisturbed by the surrounding crows. still savoring the fresh meat of its victim. On the other side of the riverbank, the grizzly bear continues relentlessly chasing a young elk. With its frail body and the predator's determined pursuit, after a while, the elk begins to slow down, exhausted, giving the grizzly bear the opportunity to close the gap and catch its prey. The mountain lion, the elusive big cat of the wild, stands out with lightning speed and cunning precision in every hunt. With astonishing strength, it can take down many rivals and maintain a fearsome presence in the wilderness. But when it comes face to face with the mighty grizzly bear, all those advantages seem to be put to the test. The grizzly, with its massive size and brutal power, is an opponent even the mountain lion must respect. Their clashes are not just battles of strength, but brutal contests of survival where primal instincts are pushed to the limit. The mountain lion, with its sudden, lightning-fast attacks, can at times force the grizzly to retreat. Yet the grizzly, with its resilience and near unbreakable power, always comes back with fury. This is a testament to the harsh reality of nature, where only the strongest earn the right to rule. A mountain lion wandered down the slope, its eyes glancing back as if something was following it. After descending the slope, the mountain lion stood quietly, looking up at the hill, when suddenly a grizzly bear appeared, lurking under the trees. The mountain lion calmly observed before lying down to rest, but as soon as it lay down, the grizzly bear immediately moved towards the slope, causing the mountain lion to panic and flee. A mother mountain lion was playing with her cubs at the top of the mountain when it seemed to catch the scent of an intruder. Immediately, the mountain lion moved her cubs to a safe spot and turned to face the massive grizzly bear that was approaching, ready to protect her young. The two animals clashed in an attack under the fearful gaze of the mountain lion cubs, growling and threatening each other, until finally the grizzly bear walked away, leaving peace for the mountain lion and her cubs. The stag, with its mesmerizing antlers and graceful appearance, is often regarded as a symbol of elegance in the wild. However, when facing the grizzly bear, these encounters turn into dramatic life-or-death struggles. Despite its agility and finesse, the stag cannot easily escape the brutality and overwhelming strength of the grizzly. Battles between the two unfold in intense tension, with the stag relying on speed and survival instincts to avoid the bear's crushing blows. At the same time, the grizzly showcases unmatched power and relentless patience, always waiting for the chance to bring down its prey. Each clash is a mortal test, where every moment can shift the balance of the fight. In the vast lake, a ferocious grizzly attempts to swim after a stag. But the stag's tall and strong frame gives it the advantage, allowing it to circle the lake, teasing the predator. Each time the bear closes in, the stag swiftly changes direction and pulls farther away. Gradually, the grizzly grows exhausted and eventually retreats to shore, leaving the stag standing triumphant in the water. By the lakeside, a mother stag and her fawn find themselves cornered against the water's edge, confronted by a grizzly bear. The bear lunges forward, clawing the ground with force, sending the terrified fawn running into its mother's embrace. Angered, the mother's stag charges at it, driving it back. The two lock eyes, but when the bear refuses to leave, the stag lunges again, threatening with such intensity that the predator retreats into the forest, leaving peace for the mother and her young. The elk, a creature with a powerful build and enormous antlers, has long been seen as a symbol of strength and resilience in the wild. But when confronted by the grizzly bear, one of the most savage predators, everything turns into a battle for survival. The elk relies not only on speed to escape, but also on its sharp antlers as a weapon of defense. Yet against the grizzly's ferocious strikes and relentless fury, the elk is forced to summon every ounce of strength to cling to life. These encounters not only reveal the harshness of nature, but also stage a breathtaking showdown between two mighty forces. In these moments, every clash and every stride carries the razor-thin line between life and death. On the hillside, a grizzly bear charges swiftly downhill, its target a group of elk below. As it nears its prey, the bear suddenly stops to observe, its massive presence catching their attention. Yet, the elk show no fear, standing calmly in place. Moments later, the grizzly rushes along the slope, driving the herd into chaos as they scatter and flee. By the time the bear closes in, the elk have already disappeared. On the mountain slope, a bull elk stands face to face with a towering grizzly. Just as the elk turns to leave, the predator lunges forward, but the steep terrain causes the bear to stumble, giving the elk a chance to leap into the river and escape, even as the grizzly gives chase. Out on the grasslands, a herd of elk seems to be fleeing from some unseen threat, their wary eyes scanning the horizon. Suddenly, a grizzly bursts into view, sending them into a frenzy of panic. But with its heavy body, the bear cannot keep up, and eventually gives up, retreating empty-handed. The mountain goat, a master climber on sheer cliffs, may seem outmatched against the massive grizzly, yet their encounters can leave anyone stunned. When the bear uses brute force to dominate, the goat relies on agility and sharp horns to fight back fiercely. On steep slopes, daring leaps and sudden horn strikes turn the clash into a breathless chase. The difference in size and strength only makes these confrontations more incredible, highlighting the goat's survival prowess. Sometimes the goat's grit and cleverness even force the grizzly to retreat, abandoning the pursuit on treacherous cliffs. Such moments create dramatic survival stories, showcasing the clash of two wilderness masters. A mountain goat climbing a rocky slope suddenly locks eyes with a grizzly watching it. It quickly changes direction, climbing elsewhere to avoid the bear. A grizzly spots a goat and begins climbing after it. But in just a moment's lapse, the goat darts away, sprinting up the high ridge and escaping. Slowly, a grizzly makes its way down a steep cliff, trying to approach two goats below. They stand their ground as the bear looms overhead, unable to find a way down. The goats stomp their hooves in warning, but the grizzly refuses to leave. After a tense standoff, the frustrated bear finally gives up and walks away. The black bear, with its agility and remarkable intelligence, is one of the best survivors in the wild. Although smaller than the grizzly bear, it is not intimidated when faced with one. The encounters between these two bear species always bring dramatic moments. The black bear uses its agility and smart tactics to cope with the stronger grizzly bear. Their battles are not just a clash of strength, but also a competition of wit and experience. These confrontations make nature even more intense and captivating than ever before. Sometimes, victory depends not only on strength, but also on the ability to deceive and take advantage of the environment. In such battles, anything can happen. The male grizzly bear, foraging near the water's edge, spots a female black bear and her cub on the hill. As soon as it sees the two black bears, it immediately charges toward them, causing the mother and cub to run away in fear. They quickly climb up the hill to a tall tree, with the grizzly bear still close behind. The mother black bear slides down to protect her cub, leaving it perched high in the tree. After a while, the grizzly bear slowly retreats, leaving the two black bears in peace. In the forest, a black bear is trying to cling to a tree, keeping a watchful eye on what's below. After a long time, it seems tired from holding on and decides to climb down. However, it appears to be afraid of something and hesitates, staying vigilant. A grizzly bear calls out from the forest, causing the black bear to quickly climb back up the tree. The two engage in a back and forth for a while. The grizzly bear has no intention of letting the black bear go and stays at the base of the tree while the black bear remains up high, avoiding the grizzly's attacks. The mountain lion, the elusive big cat of the wild, stands out with lightning speed and cunning precision in every hunt. With astonishing strength, it can take down many rivals and maintain a fearsome presence in the wilderness. But when it comes face to face with the mighty grizzly bear, all those advantages seem to be put to the test. The grizzly, with its massive size and brutal power, is an opponent even the mountain lion must respect. Their clashes are not just battles of strength, but brutal contests of survival where primal instincts are pushed to the limit. The mountain lion, with its sudden, lightning-fast attacks, can at times force the grizzly to retreat. Yet the grizzly, with its resilience and near unbreakable power, always comes back with fury. This is a testament to the harsh reality of nature, where only the strongest earn the right to rule. A mountain lion wandered down the slope, its eyes glancing back as if something was following it. After descending the slope, the mountain lion stood quietly, looking up at the hill, when suddenly a grizzly bear appeared, lurking under the trees. The mountain lion calmly observed before lying down to rest, but as soon as it lay down, the grizzly bear immediately moved towards the slope, causing the mountain lion to panic and flee. A mother mountain lion was playing with her cubs at the top of the mountain when it seemed to catch the scent of an intruder. Immediately, the mountain lion moved her cubs to a safe spot and turned to face the massive grizzly bear that was approaching, ready to protect her young. The two animals clashed in an attack under the fearful gaze of the mountain lion cubs, growling and threatening each other, until finally the grizzly bear walked away, leaving peace for the mountain lion and her cubs. The moose, with its massive antlers and regal appearance, is a symbol of strength and pride in nature. However, when facing the grizzly bear, one of the deadliest predators, they must fight not only with strength, but also with agility and speed. The encounters between moose and grizzly bears are full of drama, where every strike and every reaction can change the course of the battle. Although the grizzly bear is powerful and relentless, the moose demonstrates extraordinary courage, sometimes creating unbelievable moments. These are life or math struggles that take your breath away, leaving anyone in awe of the moose's resilience. In the middle of a vast lake, a fierce grizzly bear struggles to swim after a moose, but the towering moose has the advantage over the grizzly. It circles through the water, toying with its pursuer. Each time the bear closes in, the moose veers off and swims farther away. Gradually, the grizzly grows exhausted, and at last it gives up, climbing to shore and leaving its quarry standing in the water. By the lake, a moose rests on the shore. From a distance, a grizzly bear appears, and the moose, sensing danger, prepares to leave. But as they face each other, the moose runs, and the grizzly bear quickly chases after it. However, the prey manages to escape. The caribou, with its long antlers and majestic appearance, is one of the strongest wild animals. They travel across vast and challenging lands, always on high alert. However, sometimes confrontations with grizzly bears turn into a life or death challenge. The grizzly bear, with its immense strength and terrifying speed, doesn't hesitate to charge into fierce battles with the caribou. These dramatic moments captivate viewers as the caribou uses all its strength to protect its life. Meanwhile, the grizzly bear, with its bravery and skill, doesn't let its opponent escape easily. This confrontation is a relentless battle between two of nature's most powerful species. Across the vast plains, the grizzly bear relentlessly chases the caribou herd. Every time it gets closer, the caribou immediately split up to avoid it. In the end, no matter how hard it tries, the grizzly bear cannot catch any of them, exhausted, watching them run away. On an endless prairie, the grizzly bear speeds through the lush green grass towards the caribou herd. Seeing the grizzly bear approaching, the caribou panic and scatter, forgetting that a young one has been left behind. It becomes the target of the grizzly bear, and in an instant, the prey is taken down. The elk, with its tall stature and majestic antlers, is one of the most powerful and resilient creatures in the wild. However, when facing the grizzly bear, a brutal and powerful predator, the battles become incredibly intense. The elk not only relies on speed to escape, but also uses its sharp antlers as a weapon of defense. Nevertheless, the grizzly bear's strength, with powerful swipes and ferocity in every attack, forces the elk to fight for its life. These encounters are not just a test of survival, but also an intense showdown between two natural warriors. We can't take our eyes off the powerful collisions, where every strike and every sprint can determine life or death. On the hillside, a grizzly bear runs quickly down the hill, its target being the elk below. When it gets close to its prey, the bear suddenly stops to observe. The massive presence of the grizzly bear catches the attention of the elk, but they remain calm and continue to stand there. After a moment, the grizzly bear runs down the slope, moving quickly toward the herd of elk, causing them to scatter in panic and flee. When the grizzly bear gets closer, the elk all run away. Out on the open field, a herd of elk is migrating together when they suddenly face the pursuit of a grizzly bear. The entire herd bolts in panic as the bear gives chase, and one young elk, despite its desperate attempt to flee and fight back, is caught by the predator. On the grassy plain, a herd of elk seems to be fleeing from an unseen threat, their eyes scanning nervously in every direction. Suddenly, a grizzly bear charges out of nowhere, sending the herd scattering in terror, but with its heavy frame, it fails to keep up and finally gives up the chase. The black bear, with its agility and remarkable intelligence, is one of the best survivors in the wild. Although smaller than the grizzly bear, it is not intimidated when faced with one. The encounters between these two bear species always bring dramatic moments. The black bear uses its agility and smart tactics to cope with the stronger grizzly bear. Their battles are not just a clash of strength, but also a competition of wit and experience. These confrontations make nature even more intense and captivating than ever before. Sometimes, victory depends not only on strength, but also on the ability to deceive and take advantage of the environment. In such battles, anything can happen. The male grizzly bear, foraging near the water's edge, spots a female black bear and her cub on the hill. As soon as it sees the two black bears, it immediately charges toward them, causing the mother and cub to run away in fear. They quickly climb up the hill to a tall tree, with the grizzly bear still close behind. The mother black bear slides down to protect her cub, leaving it perched high in the tree. After a while, the grizzly bear slowly retreats, leaving the two black bears in peace. In the forest, a black bear is trying to cling to a tree, keeping a watchful eye on what's below. After a long time, it seems tired from holding on and decides to climb down. However, it appears to be afraid of something and hesitates, staying vigilant. A grizzly bear calls out from the forest, causing the black bear to quickly climb back up the tree. The two engage in a back and forth for a while. The grizzly bear has no intention of letting the black bear go and stays at the base of the tree while the black bear remains up high, avoiding the grizzly's attacks. The wolf, with its agility and sharp hunting instincts, is always a feared predator in the wild. However, when it faces the grizzly bear, a powerful and authoritative creature, everything becomes incredibly tense. The battles between wolves and grizzly bears are not only bloody battles, but also a clash between pure strength and determination. The wolf, despite its speed and cunning, still faces powerful attacks from the grizzly bear. Both species are relentless, and every movement could decide life or death. These encounters are fierce challenges that even the strongest creatures must be cautious of. A life or death struggle where every strategy and strength is pushed to its limit. In Yellowstone National Park, a grizzly bear is busy burying its freshly caught prey in the thick snow. A pack of wolves sense the prey and moves in. They try to approach, but the grizzly bear, angered, charges toward them. As the wolves grow in number, they face the massive, stubborn grizzly bear that refuses to leave. Eventually, the wolves give up and retreat together. In the woods, a grizzly bear discovers a carcass left behind by another creature. It approaches and begins to feast on the meal set before it. Suddenly, from a distance, a pack of wolves, having picked up the scent of the carcass, approaches. The wolves try to distract the grizzly bear to claim the meal for themselves. After several attempts, the wolves, intimidated by the grizzly bear's massive and fearsome size, retreat, leaving the prey to their enemy with regret. The wapiti, with its wide and majestic antlers, is always a symbol of strength and the beauty of the wild. But when facing the grizzly bear, one of the most dangerous predators, the wapiti is no longer an easy conquest. The encounters between these two species are full of tension, with each powerful thrust of the wapiti's antlers serving as a defiant resistance. The grizzly bear, with its superior strength, relentlessly attacks, creating life and death situations filled with drama. In those moments, the wapiti must display all its survival instincts to escape death. Each battle is a struggle between life and death, where only one of the two species can emerge victorious. And when it ends, only the traces of a haunting battle remain. In the vast lake, an aggressive grizzly bear attempts to swim after the wapiti. But the wapiti's large body gives it an advantage over the grizzly bear as it swims around the lake, teasing the predator. Every time the grizzly bear gets close, the wapiti changes direction, swimming further away. Gradually, the grizzly bear becomes exhausted and finally gives up, retreating to the shore, leaving the prey in the water. In Denali National Park, Alaska, a moose with two calves is out searching for food when they catch the attention of a grizzly bear. The grizzly relentlessly follows the mother and her young, but the vigilant moose spots the predator and drives it away. Stubborn as ever, the bear circles back and continues the pursuit. Once again, the protective mother moose charges and forces the grizzly to retreat, then quickly leads her calves toward the main road, crossing down to the riverbed. The grizzly, still persistent, trails behind, but eventually loses track of the moose and her calves. By the lake, a mother wapiti and her young are trapped at the edge of the water, facing the grizzly bear. The grizzly bear rushes forward, swiping its claws at the ground, causing the young elk to panic and run into its mother's arms. The wapiti, in rage, charges at the grizzly bear to chase it off. The two face each other, and seeing the grizzly bear unwilling to leave, the wapiti charges again, threatening the predator, causing it to retreat into the forest, leaving the mother and calf in peace. The bison, with its colossal frame and extraordinary strength, has long been revered as one of the most powerful animals of the plains. Yet when facing the grizzly bear, a savage giant predator, their encounters become battles of strength and strategy without mercy. Though the bison wields a muscular body and devastating charges, the grizzly's ferocious strikes and unyielding resilience make it a fearsome opponent. These clashes are brutal confrontations between two natural forces, where every strike and every step can shift the course of the fight. Together, they create moments of breathtaking tension, where the lives of both creatures hang on the edge. On the grassy hills, a grizzly intrudes upon the bison herd's territory, immediately met with their united defense driving it away. But soon after, the bear returns, launching a sudden counterattack that sends the herd scattering in panic. A calf lags behind and becomes the target, quickly pulled down and dragged uphill by the bear. Though a brave adult bison charges and knocks the predator to the ground in an attempt to save the calf, it is too late. The parent retreats to the herd in grief. On another hill, a lone bison spots the grizzly from afar and charges headlong toward it. The bear notices and moves as if to meet the bison, but seeing its fierce determination, it suddenly turns, flees. The two break into a chase, but the grizzly's speed gives it the edge, leaving the bison behind.